My lungs were down to 15%, and I couldn't catch my breath, and I knew something was wrong, and I thought it would finally got my time.
Well, when I met him, he was not as active as some people, but he's still quite active. As the years went on, he progressively got worse and worse and worse. Went from, cooking meals to, being, I guess, the second person in the house to, he'd do what he could, but when you have only 15% of your lungs working, what can you do? Just waking up in the morning was your job.
Got the call on St. Patrick's Day. We were in the emergency room because I couldn't breathe, and they called me on my cell phone, said, "We've got some lungs for you." And I ran out with every cord on me, said, "I got my call." And they all reacted, jumped on the life flight and flew me here. I'm half French, half Irish, and got lucky.
The first time you see somebody who can go for a walk with their child because they didn't have the strength or the breath to walk with their own child, it'll bring you back every single day.
I have a 3-year-old. She turns 4 in April. So I'm gonna look forward to teaching her to play soccer and baseball, tennis, whatever she wants to learn.
Because somebody else was willing to be an organ donor, my husband now has life.
So what transplantation does is, to a donor family, offer the possibility that from what is a really dark part in their life, that some glimmer of hope is going to come from it, that some good will come from what is a very tough time for that family.
I received a double lung transplant in April of '08. This September, I got a letter from my donor family. It says, "Dear lungs recipient, it has now been more than 4 months since your lungs transplant. We, of course, are devastated by the sudden death of our daughter, Angela. Our family is very close and we miss her greatly. Angela was a very generous person. She especially showed that at Thanksgiving, birthdays, our anniversary, and Christmas. We will certainly miss her this Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we are comforted in knowing that you had a very specific part in our daughter's life." Hold on a second.
Who have a transplant, if they had it for COPD or pulmonary hypertension, they've had, challenges, many respiratory challenges along the way, and so for them to get a new lung and to be able to breathe easier, it's really a big change for them and really an exciting thing.
I think the turning point for myself as her brother was being at Yale New Haven, watching her sit there in the wheelchair on 6 liters of oxygen through her nose and just absolutely gasping for breath. She looks at me from the wheelchair in the clinic, looking at me saying, "I just feel like I'm suffocating right now," which was devastating to hear as her brother, and there's nothing you can do about it.
But after I got admitted to the hospital at Yale, I knew things weren't too good. So they agreed to give me 5 more days on the list to see if some lungs would come in. And on the 4th day, some lungs came in. They drove me up by ambulance up to Brigham on the morning of the 18th, and I received lungs that day. Even though I was intubated and I had a tube in my mouth and I had tubes running all over me, it was just an amazing feeling just to be able to take in a deep breath and not feel like I was suffocating. And I mean, even though I was in pain and the rest of me hurt, I could definitely feel, could feel air coming in my lungs, and it was just very exciting.
So it's actually imperative that everybody talks to their family members, their wives, brothers, sisters, whoever. Says, if I ever get to this state where I would want to donate my organs, it's something that I would want to do because it's something that is going to help out a broad range of people.
The question in my mind isn't should I donate, It's how could I not?